few videos ago, I did a review of MVMT. This is a more thorough overlook. I have the wristwatch here. I'll get to that a little later. A few years ago, MVMT was one of the most popular watch companies in the country. It was definitely the most popular on social media. People that hadn't heard of larger watch companies that have been around for 100 years heard of MVMT. That's how I heard about it as well. And it took me a while to get my hand on one of them. I mean, I just did. And the big allegations at the time was that MVMT was overpriced, that the wristwatch wasn't worth the amount of money paid for it. This cost me $135. Now I had about 20% off or less. So I got this in total, including shipping, for $122. Shipping cost me about $7. So this cost me in total $122. Having taken a look at the wristwatch, I see the criticism, and I think it's more warranted than I thought it would be. The straps, for instance, like I said in the review, are genuine leather. Now, genuine leather is one of the lowest grades of leather out there. It's basically what everybody uses if you don't want to use anything more quality. There's top grain and other higher quality leathers. The movement is Japanese movement. Quartz movement itself is a kind of movement. It's a general kind of movement. But I think there was a more generic movement they used to use a few years ago. And now they have a contract with a company to make quartz movement specifically for them. So this may be a higher grade than the old ones they used to have. But again, quartz movement is industry standard. It's one of the most used movements in all wristwatches. The water resistance is 5 ATM. That's okay too. It's not unique or special. The casing is mineral crystal. There are about 3 levels of casing, or 4. There's plastic, there's mineral crystal, there's sapphire crystal, and there is a merger, I think, of sapphire crystal and mineral crystal. That's in the middle there somewhere. This is mineral crystal, which means it's only one level higher than plastic, and so it's more prone to scratches. So in total, the things used. Now, the upside about the wristwatch though is that it feels heavy. The stainless steel casing feels heavy and substantial. So that's the upside. But the stainless steel casing feels quality and the straps feel cheap. So you feel a dissonance between the quality of the materials used. In total, it's okay. It's a fashion wristwatch. It's not meant to be for wristwatch connoisseurs. There are people who have been collecting wristwatches for years. Maybe their grandfathers passed down a wristwatch to their father, and the father passed it down to the son. And so when they're talking about wristwatches on YouTube, they sound very high-end and very knowledgeable about what they're saying. This is not meant for those people. This is meant for people like me, the average consumer, who likes fashion wristwatches. One of the downsides of many established watchmakers is that they focus too much, and this is what made wristwatches count in the past. They focus too much on the quality of the movement on the inside. In the past, that's what made a good wristwatch, right? The wristwatches that your grandfather can pass to your father and to you is a wristwatch with a substantially better movement than a quartz movement. They have automatic wristwatches. They have this old wristwatch company that costs like 10 grand. I forget what it's called now. But those ones you can pass from generation to generation. And Rolexes. That's what I was looking for. You can pass those from generation to generation and they will last. These, you can't do that. But again, that was a time when timepieces were necessary, right? You needed timepieces to actually know what the time was. You either had that or you had the Big British Grandfather Clock, Tower Clock, Uncle Ben. That's what you waited for, to hear the bells go off, to know what the time was. So timepieces were more important at the time. Today, you can use it's faster to pull out your phone and check what the time is than to look at a wristwatch. So nobody buys these anymore for the quality of the movement on the inside. Nobody buys these anymore for the quality of the watch itself. They buy it just for the fashion. This has become more jewelry than it has become a functional piece of your wardrobe. So that's where many of these old legacy companies still get this wrong. For that purpose, this is okay. I still think it's overpriced, especially after so if you have watched this channel for a little while, you know that I run a company called the Mara Company. Now we have started looking into making wristwatches, fashion wristwatches as well. And one of the things we realized was it's fairly easy to make a fashion wristwatch, especially after you have the inner design. The design is really what's unique. And again, that's what makes MVMT stand out from even other competitors like Vincero. In my opinion, they have better designs. Excuse me. So in terms of the fashion design, yeah, it's pretty good. But in terms of the quality of the items themselves, this is fairly easy to make, right? And in total, they likely paid about $25-30 a piece. Now, MVMT spends a lot on marketing, and as a young entrepreneur, I overlooked marketing a lot because I thought it was the easier part, but it isn't. It is harder to spread the word about a good product than to create a good product itself, depending on the industry, but largely it's so. That's why people invest. Even companies like Apple that used to make very great products invest a lot of money into marketing. So in that sense, MVMT has done a very good job. So they spend a lot of marketing. I would say maybe another $30 a piece, $40 a piece. In total, it probably costs them like $80 to do all of this, $70 to $80 to do all of this, and they sell this for $135. Their profit margin is likely not as high as people think it is anymore. They pay a lot of YouTubers to advertise their products. That comes at a high cost, especially if you want to do it over a lot of YouTubers, including bigger YouTubers. Right, there was a time H3 advertised these guys, Ben Shapiro advertised these guys, and a bunch of other big YouTube channels. So they spend a lot of money on advertising, that's for sure. The question is, do they spend enough such that it's worth $135 at the end of the day? They have to make a good profit, so I see that as well. But I wouldn't say this is worth $135 for the average guy. It isn't. It's likely worth maybe $95. If I bought this for $95, I wouldn't feel ripped off at all. I would think it was worth, I got it at exactly what it was worth. So if you want to get one of these, go ahead and get it, especially now. I looked online today and I discovered that they sell these now for $110. So they have a discount on it already. If you get this at $110, it's still okay. With shipping, it will come up to about $117. That's above the fair value in my opinion, but it's still better than $135. And MVMT is still better in terms of its designs than Vincero the 5th. So I hope you liked this video and you found this informative. This is MVMT in 2020. They have more expensive wristwatches. They have automatic wristwatches now. Go on their website, take a look at it. If you find something you like, especially during this Christmas time, then get it at a deal. If not, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.